Hey YouTube, I want to show you this great way of organizing your setup using the new product of Elgato, the Stream Deck Plus. Basically what it is, it's a big macro board for organizing and assigning buttons and dials to any function you really need. Here what I'm doing is I'm actually using the dials to adjust my lighting, my system sound, lots of other like custom features you can use this for. You can also mute your sound, unmute your sound, and it's very, very handy for on-the-fly functionality. It's very, very easy to use, plug and play, and with this software you can actually assign any button you really want here. Here I'm actually assigning buttons to the dials, and now I'm actually assigning buttons up the top there. You can have different layers and different functionality too. Here I'm adding multiple pages and many stacks which you can do for not only the buttons and the dials at the same time. If you do want to check out the Elgato Stream Deck, if you want to save yourself a lot of time, if you want to upgrade your streaming setup, or if you just want something at home to really save time on functionality and simplicity, check it out. The link is in the description of the video. I'd highly recommend all of Elgato's stuff. Alright people, let's get into the battles. What's up YouTube? For today's video, we'll be full Generation 9 birds Pokemon team. I'll be using Pokemon Scarlet and Violet's new fully evolved birds. We've got Quaquaval, Espartha, Flamigo, Kilowattrel, Squawkabilly, and we've got Bombirdier. So some pretty interesting Pokemon. As they say, birds of a feather flock together. Now, we've got 4 battles today with the bird team. I hope you enjoy. First opponent here, this is against Pika. Now, these battles are random ones on the Poke Portal too. So if any of my opponents do come across this video, you know, thank you for the battle and maybe leave a comment. So we got a Grimmsnarl lead here. I've never seen one of these in my life. It's almost as rare as Glimmora. And I've got a special Quaquaval. Now, this set I've used on my Quaquaval Evo team, a couple of weeks back there, and it probably isn't the greatest set in the world, but it is quite fun to use. So we've got Rain Dance, Hurricane, Hydro Mist, and Icy Wind, Damp Rock as the item, and Torrent as the ability. We've got Max Speed, Max Special Attack EVs, and Timid Nature. Now, also, if you want to support the channel, people, and you're loving the videos, make sure you don't forget to drop a like there. Really does help me out there and helps you out too, because you get to see the videos and your subscriptions and stuff a lot more and recommended if YouTube doesn't really send them out. Next Pokemon to come in is going to be Corviknight here. Now, I got Paralyzed and I got Parting Shot from Grimmsnarl, so I really couldn't do a lot here at this time. So I was like, I'm just going to leave it in and let Corviknight fate me. Now, I actually managed to get a couple of Hydro Pumps off here and was actually doing, pretty good damage there. Now, Corviknight started to roost, like stall me, and I was like, okay, fair enough. I'm going to get wrecked here. There's nothing really I can do. Let's just keep going for Hydro Pump. I may even get a critical hit on, if I get one on Torrent, that'll be amazing. So I went for a couple of Hydro Pumps there. A couple of them landed, a couple of them missed. It is what it is. That's why I call it Hydro Miss. Now, Corviknight's going to go for another roost again, which is really necessary, and I'm just keeping going for the Hydro Pump over and over again there. So Corviknight's going to get hit by another water spout there, and Quaquaval is going to finally faint. So that took a little while, actually. I sort of had to do a lot of cuts there and speed ups, because that took like a long time of the stalling. Next Pokemon is Glimmora. Oh, how can we not have Glimmora and Grimmsnarl on the same team? What a lovely bunch of Pokemon. So next Pokemon we got here is Kilowattrel. This is a really cool Pokemon. It's primarily a special attacker, but I've got a Pipknight special here. So we got a Tailwind set here. Now, I've got Tailwind and Wild Charge. So this is going to be pretty cool. We got the Wind Power. Now, what Wind Power does, it actually has the same effect as Charge. So the next electric type attack is going to get a boost. Unfortunately, Glimmora is a very, very good counter for this team, and it's going to one-shot me. But that will be back in the later battles there for sure with the Kilowattrel set. I'll explain that a little bit more. So in comes Espartha. This is a interesting set. We've got Lumina Crash, Dazzling Gleam, Terra Blast Fire, and Substitute. Now, this has got the ability Speed Boost. The item is going to be Potato Berry, and we've got Max Speed and Max Special Attack, Timid Nature. So where goes the Glimmora there? I'm going to throw the sub up, because sometimes you need to get the sub, and that's why you get the dub, right? So we've got that Speed Boost happening there. Now, we've got the Grimmsnarl. I'm thinking, well, should be about a 2-hit KO with Dazzling Gleam. The Grimmsnarl is going to go for a Sucker Punch, which I sort of guess they'd have some sort of attacking move there, whether it be Sucker Punch, your Spirit Break, those sort of things there. So that is the end of my substitute. Now I know they're going to go for Thunder Wave. I was like, I'm actually not all that worried about that because I do have Speed Boost, which will at least allow me to get rid of that drop from the Thunder Wave there. It's more the fact that if Thunder Wave actually stops me from attacking with paralysis, which can, it can happen sometimes and other times you can get lucky. It is what it is. It's Pokemon, right? So throwing up another sub there, and we're going to keep going for some more speed boosts here. So I thought I might be able to juice a couple of speed boosts out of this Grimmsnarl by going for substitute when they go for their predictable Sucker Punch. So I went for that one, so I was like, that's pretty good. I've got another speed boost there. That's going to give me enough speed to pretty much outspeed the rest of the team there outside of a priority move or, me getting a paralysis, right? So obviously Grimmsnarl is going to keep going for Sucker Punch there until my substitute breaks. There wasn't a lot I could do here. I could keep going for substitute, but I thought I might as well just feint out the Grimmsnarl because it was annoying. So that's the end of the Grimmsnarl there. Finally, that thing is I thought I saw the end of it in Sword and Shield, but here we go again. So I've got a 69 speed boost up here. Next Pokemon is going to be Skeledirge. Now, this is quite an important turn here. So I knew the opponent would not expect this. I've got Terra Fire on here because the opponent is really terrified, what they say. So the whole idea about having the fire on here was to actually get around Bug, right? So I thought I can go for that, and then I can go for like the Terra Blast. This is actually useful for when Scizor came in, and I caught a lot of Scizor off guard here, and I got a couple of Rage Quits too, which is really cool. So I got that Chandelure on my head there. I don't know how that would balance on Espartha's head. It's a little bit of a mystery to me. So go for the Lumina Crash there. Lumina Crash is a really cool move. It is a Psychic type move, 80 base power, and at 100% drops the special defense of the opponent by 2, which is really nice. So now they went for the Torch Song there, which is great. I knew they'd go for that, and now they put me in Potato Berry range, which is great. So everything I knew that was going to happen sort of fell in place there. Now the Skeledirge is in sort of a bit of a hard position here. It's going to have to take a very, very powerful Lumina Crash now, and I've got a lot of speed boosts up here. So now they're going to swap out the Skeledirge. I was thinking, I wonder what's going to come in here, and there's going to be the Corviknight. I was like, okay, that's good. Corviknight's quite a counter to this team once I lose my Kilowattrel. So I'm going to go for Lumina Crash there, and Corviknight will not be able to get out of this unless I get paralyzed. That's the thing. So I did get paralyzed here, and Corviknight is going to be fainting. So it's always good to get Corviknight out the way. So you've got Grimmsnarl stall, Corviknight stall, and we've got Glimmora as well. So next Pokemon, Pharaoh Paladin. That sounds like a character I used in Diablo, the Paladin. Anyway, so that's the end of the Iron Valiant there. Got absolutely dominated. I guess they were hoping that I get paralyzed, but I haven't so far. It's crazy. Next Pokemon is going to be the Skeledirge. I'm just going to go for Illuminati Crash again there. Almost taking out Skeledirge. Very, very close. Quality damage there on Espartha. Now Skeledirge is going to go for that Shadow Ball, and that is the end of Espartha. But what a performance there from Espartha. I never even got paralyzed once. It was crazy. Actually, not a bad shiny there either on Espartha. I think that kind of works. So we're going to have some leftover recovery here on the opposing Skeledirge. So I'm thinking what to bring in next. I'm like, it's time for the big Squawkabilly, right? We've got a physical set here. We've got Protect, Giga Impact, Brave Bird, and Fury Attack. I've got the ability Guts, and the item's going to be Toxic Orb. So I don't know why I didn't want Flame Orb on this. I think I just, I don't know. I actually have no idea why I didn't want Flame Orb. But anyway, it's going to activate the Guts. I've got Max Speed, Max Attack, Jolly Nature. So that's going to be the end of the Skeledirge there. Next Pokemon's going to be Glimmora. I'm like, okay, well, I've got absolutely nothing to lose here. I'm probably going to get wrecked anyway. Let's go for Giga Impact Guts, the big GG. And Glimmora gets hit pretty hard, but a little bit less hard than what I thought. It seems to be a very slow, bulky set. So that's going to be the end of Squawkabilly there, and I can see Glimmora's got a Black Sludge, so it's a bulky set, right? Obviously, I know the resistant, but that's a pretty powerful attack. Now, next Pokemon for the birds is going to be Flamigo. Flamigo is a pretty good Pokemon. This is definitely one of my best sets, probably the best set on my team. So with this physical Flamigo, we got Close Combat, Acrobatics, Sword Dance, and Throat Chop. A pretty good all-round spread there. I've got Scrappy as the ability, and I've got White Herb as the item. So White Herb is going to fix Close Combat's defense and special defensive drop, and now it's also going to give me a fully base-powered Acrobatics, which is going to be Stab 2 at 110 base power, which is definitely no joke sort of Pokemon there. So go for Acrobatics on the incoming Guard Chop, and Garchomp is going to say goodbye. So that's really, really good. So Garchomp, I was thinking in the back there might have been a bit of a problem, but since I, got that initial damage from close combat and then I outsped, it was really good. I managed to get around that. So next Pokemon, actually the last Pokemon is Glimmora. I've got nothing I can really do here, so I just went for the close combat. Good damage once again. This is a very, very bulky defensive Glimmora, and Glimmora is going to go for a Sludge Bomb here. So that's the end of my Flamigo. I've got one more Pokemon left now, one more bird, and that is the word. So Glimmora's going to get another little bit of Black Scum there. Now the next Pokemon is Bombirdier. So I've actually used this yesterday too. So this is a little bit different set to the one I used yesterday. It's a Rock Blast, Brave Bird, Parting Shot, Sucker Punch set. I've got Loaded Dice as the item, and I really don't need to do much here. I can just go for the Sucker Punch and finish off the Glimmora with only a little bit of health remaining. It was easy peasy. Thank you, Pikachu, for the battle there, and I'm actually kind of surprised I won that one. There was a lot of counters to my team, but that Espartha coming through there with no paralysis was crazy. All right, second battle here. I'm not sure my opponent's... my random opponent's name here. So if anyone would like to translate that name, you would be absolutely amazing if you could do that. I do appreciate the people that always do that every video. So we got a Skeledirge lead here. I thought they may actually swap out here, but they stayed in, which, surprised me a little bit. So I thought I'd have one free turn to start the rain, and I wouldn't be in pain. So here comes his Shadow Ball here. Shadow Ball is about a 2-hit KO to 3, and then I was like, yep, it's definitely a 2-hit KO after the special defense drop. But the good thing is here, Hydro Pump landed, and it landed really, really hard. So that's the end of Skeledirge, which is a nice little start to the battle. Next Pokemon we got here is going to be Meowscarlet, and I was like, well, I don't really want to swap out here. I definitely feel like it's going to use Flower Trick, but just in case it doesn't, I'm going to stay in and it's going to go for the Flower Trick. So that's the end of Quaquaval. Not a lot I could have done there. I could have swapped into another Pokemon, but that's fine. I was happy. The special Quaquaval isn't really what you call an amazingly powerful Pokemon, right? So if I get a KO, I'm pretty happy. Next Pokemon's going to be Squawkabilly. We're going to go for Brave Bird here. Here comes Play Rough. And I can tell you what, I managed to live that one, and I was playing rough with this attack. So that's the end of Meowscarlet with a big Brave Bird. So that's a good Pokemon to get out the way there. Very fast Pokemon, pretty hard hitter too. So I'm going to take a lot of damage for the recall there. I've probably got one more hit left in me if I can outspeed, that is. And we've got another Quaquaval coming out. So I was like, oh, they're going to go for a Moxie here. I've got Jolly Nature, and Brave Bird just absolutely decimates it with a critical hit. Definitely the critical hit did not matter there, and Quaquaval was going to faint there, and Squawkabilly is going to go down the MVP so far, taking out 2 Pokemon. Like, Squawkabilly isn't all that bad. You can roast them and stuff like that, but it isn't bad. It actually has a higher base speed than Quaquaval too, so I think they underestimated it. Next Pokemon's going to be Cinderace. I thought I saw the last of this and Sword and Shield, and I'm going to go for the Wind Power Tailwind on my Kilowattrel. So getting that Wind Power up there, the next attack is going to be Electric type. It's going to be a Wild Charge, and now we've got Libero Gunk Shot, a very, very powerful move here. Stab, Kilowattrel hangs on 14 health. What a live there, and now it's going to be able to heal itself with its Citrus Berry. That was my item. I had max speed and max attack here, and I gave this Adam Nature. With this physical set, you kind of need it. It's kind of bad. So Kilowattrel does a big chunk of damage there, and now they go for a Disrespect Pyro Ball. Now that was rude there. A Pyro Ball in the rain. That's put me in real pain. So next Pokemon's going to be Bombirdier. I'm like, I've got the Sucker Punch. This is all good. I don't think they'll be expecting this, and that is the end of Cinderace, which is excellent. So this is quite a nice Pokemon to finish off weakened Pokemon and get some pretty powerful attacks. So the next Pokemon to come out here is going to be Charizard. It's like, I've got Rock Blast. This is perfect. I've got Loaded Dice Rock Blast. This is it's going to hit 4 times minimum, right? And, I don't think Charizard will expect that. Plus, I've got the Rocky Payload as the ability, so that's going to power up any Rock-type moves by 1.5 times, which is great against a Fire and Flying. It's still Mono Fire after the Terra on the Charizard there, and Charizard is going to be a 4-hit KO, which is perfect. That means I'm going to land 4 times, and that is the end of Charizard. So things are looking great at the moment. So bye-bye Charizard there. I wish they used a shiny Charizard. We'll see that, I guess the rare orange Charizard, you hardly ever see it. So the Tailwind is gone there, thanks to outspeeding the Charizard. That was really nice. And the Garchomp is going to come in it. Wow, that's such a great shiny. It changes so much. So in comes Garchomp with the outrageous outrage, and that is going to take out my Bombirdier. So I'm like, uh-oh. This is bad. So I've got Flamigo here, but Flamigo actually doesn't quite have as much speed as Garchomp, unless Garchomp's running like Adamant, and this one is definitely running Jolly, and that's the end of Flamigo. I was like, oh no, this is it. I've only got one more Pokemon left. I don't know what's going to happen here. Garchomp gets the chickens flying around its head. I'm like, okay, I've got a chance here. So going into Espartha. Now, Espartha can outspeed here, but I don't think Dazzling Gleam is going to take it out. So go for Dazzling Gleam. It's about a 3-hit KO, maybe a 2 if I'm lucky. Garchomp hits itself in confusion, and it actually enables me to win this battle, and that is the end of Garchomp. Wow, that was so lucky there. That was so good luck there. My opponent definitely should have won, but they got beaten up by a little chicken. So thank you for the battle, whoever that was, and I'm sorry about the luck there. You absolutely should have won that, but sorry, not sorry. Let's get on to the third battle. This one's against Mana Ape or Man Ape. Maybe they've got a full monkey team. Next first Pokemon here is going to be the Cloyster. So I've got no idea what Cloyster's going to do. Totally not going to be Shell Smash. So I can go for the Tailwind, or I actually think they'll be expecting me to go for Thunderbolt or Volt Switch. So first turn, little Timmy Terra here, turning the Cloyster into an Ice type. I'm like, okay, well, looks like all they want to do now is press A to win. So I've got the Tailwind up here, which is good. I'm hoping they go for Shell Smash because I don't really want to waste this. I want to get some damage off on the Cloyster here. Now, Cloyster is going to go for Shell Smash there. So, like, okay, good. You know, they've used their Terra up on basically the first turn. If I can get rid of this Cloyster, maybe let's be real, I might not fail, or I might fail, but if I can do a lot of damage to it, I've got another Pokemon that come in and take it out. So go for Wild Charge there, and that is not enough to take out the Cloyster. It was very, very close. I'd say they probably would have had the Focus Sash there anyway. So here comes one Icicle Sphere. One Icicle Sphere, 2 Kilowattrel. So the sweat is real here, people. Thank goodness for Bombirdier. If I didn't have this Pokemon with Sucker Punch, I would be done. You know, that would have swept my whole team. That's what they were going for. All they wanted to do was press the A button and like the minimum amount of effort possible. Minimum effort, maximum profit, right? So that's going to be the end of the Cloyster. Next Pokemon is the washing machine here. I just turned the washing machine on and then I turned it off. So go for the Rock Blast here. Rock Blast does really, really good damage to the Rotom Wash here. I actually get a bunch of hits there. I got 4 hits. I was hoping for 5 so I could stay alive, but unfortunately it didn't happen. I lived on 1 health after the discharge, but unfortunately the Tailwind actually ended. So I knew they'd suspect the Sucker Punch there because I used it earlier on, but I knew they'd expect that. So I went for the Rock Blast on the obvious swap, and I got them good, really, with the Rock Blast. So in comes the Scissor here. I hit Scissor with a full load of Rock Blast too. I was like, if this can get like 5, will be really good. And I got 4 again. I'm like, okay, I would never have got that damage there if I just went for the obvious Sucker Punch play. So that was excellent. Bombirdier going to fake to a Quick Attack Scissor. So nice, I got the Life Orb too. So now we're going to go into Espartha. Remember I was talking about this before. This is a great sort of bait for a Scissor. So I'm going to go for the Terra Fire on Espartha, and I'm going to go for the Terra Blast here. I was thinking I could go for the Substitute, but just in case they went for a different move, expecting something fishy here from a Terra, I thought I'd better get rid of the Scissor, Scissors are very threatening Pokemon. So here comes the obvious Bullet Punch. I knew they'd do that. Look how much it did, even when it resisted. That's crazy amounts of damage. That would have, easily one-shotted me. I went for the Terra Blast or the Terra Fire, and Scissor is going to be very terrified of this. So that's the end of Scissor, which is a great Pokemon, to get rid of there. So I don't think the Rotom will come into this matchup here. I've got a speed boost up too, so I can go for any sort of coverage move there. And we've got the Cerulege coming. I was like, okay, well, I've got Lumina Crash. Let's go ahead and use that. That lived it so well, like really well. I was like, man, is this something like a bulky set? I think this is like max health, max special defense, So this is an extremely bulky set. Go for Illuminati Crash again there. Good damage, almost took it out. Very, very close. Now, unfortunately here, I don't have Bombirdier actually to pick up the slack with a Sucker Punch, and it's going to finish me off there, which is very unfortunate. But once again, a quality performance there by Espartha. I mean, I'm only mucking around using that Pokemon. You can use way better sets than that. So we're going to go into Flamigo here. It's going to hit me with a Shadow Sneak, because I can live this one. I know I can. So I lived it pretty well, and what I did is I deliberately went for the close combat. With the Scrappy ability, that allows me to hit Ghost types, which is really, really cool. Scrappy's quite a, underrated ability, I really quite like it. It also sort of, definitely helps against intimidate users. You're immune to that and stuff too. So next Pokemon here is going to be the Great Tusk. I was like, well, I'll go for acrobatics, but I doubt I'm fainting it. This thing has got like ginormous defenses. So it's got the item as a Rocky Helmet, and it's going to go for a rapid spin, increasing its speed. I'm like, oh no, that's bad. So now this thing will definitely outspeed my last two Pokemon. It's all up to Squawkabilly here, people. And when you're relying on Squawkabilly, you know you're in trouble. So now it's going to go for a Brick Break. I'm like, please leave. It lived. I was like, damn, that's really, really good. Go for the Brave Bird here, and that is going to finish off the Great Tusk. Not so great now. Rocky Helmet is going to hit me too, and there was some recall too. So unfortunately, Squawkabilly is going to faint to that. But that got me out of the woods there. That was really, really good. So my last Pokemon is Quaquaval, and there's one more Pokemon apart from the Rotom, which I know that I can deal with. So all I've got to do is take this out. I know that I don't have much effective against it, but I've got a Hydro Pump, so that should be enough to take it out here. Here comes the Discharge. I lived on 3 health, and Hydro Pump misses. Come on. Oh, and now they're going to finish me off with a Voltridge. That's it, people. That's the end of the battle. I would have loved to land that Hydro Pump, but I guess it was like the last battle, I shouldn't have won that one. So it is what it is. That's Pokemon. Thank you, Man 8, for the battle there. I was sort of looking for the, towards that monkey team. Maybe next time. So we got another battle here. This is against Huntdown. This one was actually on my stream. The other 3 battles were on the random Poke Portal. So we've got a random nicknames team here. So this is a bunch of Pokemon that were obviously got on the surprise Wonder trait there. And the nicknames were, some of them were very interesting. And how they'd even pass the censor, well, I have no idea. Now, one of them I actually had to censor because I didn't really want to put it into this video, right, for obvious reasons. I'm not going to say what it is, but if you know, you know. So that's the end of the Gengar there. It was like a bulky Parasong set, which is pretty cool. And the next Pokemon to come out here is going to be Puka. So obviously this is, puking a lot there. I can't remember the last time I puked. I think it was when I was like a teenager, and I may have had a little bit too much to drink and stuff like that. Anyway, those were the days. So anyway, we're going to go and try and get rid of this Dash Blunt. It's actually a really, really bulky set there. I suspect it's got the ability Well-Baked Body too. So I'm on my last turn here with the Parasong. I've got to swap out, and we're going to go into Squawkabilly here. Now, this has got the Giga Impactness, so I can go for that. This is like a bulky Draining Kiss set, so it's just going to keep getting its health back over and over again. And I was thinking, maybe I could go for Giga Impact with the Guts. That should do like an enormous amount of damage, right? I've got max speed. I believe they've got everything invested in the bulk. So go for the Giga Impact here. It almost takes it out, but I actually thought they were one shot, but very, very good offensive bulk here, right? Unfortunately, my Squawkabilly is going to get its attack drop harshly by Charm, so that's not good at all. I'm thinking to myself, I might be able to take this out after, like, the next turn, and then it used Charm again. I'm like, oh, I don't know about this. It's going to be really, really close. So Squawkabilly is taking toxic damage at the same time. I went for the Giga Impact. I crossed my feathers, and unfortunately, the Pokemon is going to live there, and to my dismay. And now it's going to go for a Disarming Void, a Draining Kiss there, and that's going to heal it up, and my Squawkabilly is going to faint to the Toxic Orb. There's nothing I could do there at all. But yeah, that's the end of my Squawkabilly. It is surprising how some names do get through the censor and some don't. Like my username on YouTube, I remember I couldn't even call my trainer name that in. It wouldn't, not this generation, the one before, I believe I couldn't do that. So, but I don't know, like they really have to fix up their censor. So go for the Wild Charge here. Unfortunately, it lives again, and I'm going to get hit by the recall. And of course, Dash Bun is going to go for a Charm again. So like, okay, well, it's only got a bit of health here. Even though my attack has been dropped harshly, I know I can finish it off here. Only just. You probably would have used another healing Draining Kiss after that. So thank goodness that thing is gone. Now the next Pokemon to come out here is going to be and this is a one tree. It's going to go for a Giga Impact. And yeah, that's the end of Kilowattrel there. So bye-bye Kilowattrel, a Giga Impact one trio. So that's interesting. So very, very interesting Pokemon. So we got Quaquaval coming in here. There is a bit of a recharge, so I thought, well, I can go for the Rain Dance here. Let's set that up. I should be able to live the Giga Impact because it is coming for one trio. It's not exactly what you call the bulkiest and hard-hitting Pokemon in the world. Now, however, we have got a Terra normal one trio. And this is definitely something to be feared. I'm thinking, I don't think I'm living this. I'm definitely not going to be living this quite. So here comes the Giga Impact, one trio, and that is the end of 4 Quaquaval. He lived on 17 health, but that took a ginormous amount of damage there. I went for the Hurricane, and the one tree is going to live, and I doubled it up thanks to the recharge. And that is a threesome I don't want to be involved in. So that's 3 Pokemon down right there. So now we've got half the team left. Next Pokemon's going to be Quaquaval. I know there's a bit of a janky camera angle here, but this is the Pokemon's name I had to get rid of there. This one, I'm not saying what it was there. So next Pokemon's going to be Bombirdier. I can go for attacking move and hopefully take this out. It's going to go for the Hurricane against me. I'm going to go for the Brave Bird there to finish off this Pokemon. So that's the end of the Quaquaval, all right? Now, the next Pokemon is going to be Balls number 2. Now, this is actually quite a good shiny, you know, Roller. It's quite a good looking shiny. Like, the little ball goes golden, right? That was actually my number 7th best shiny Pokemon. If you didn't check out yesterday's video too, I did my top favorite shiny Pokemon for Gen 9. YouTube sort of didn't work yesterday, so if you want to check it out, make sure you do. It's on the channel. Anyway, we're going to roll out set, almost take out my Bombirdier. Unfortunately, it sort of just lacked a little bit of damage there, and I'm going to finish it off with a tiny little rock. So a pretty cool looking Pokemon. That'd be a hard sweep to do. So next Pokemon we got is going to be Barraskewda. Obviously, they just put their face planted the nickname keyboard there, and with the nickname, and that's going to be the end of the Bombirdier. Next Pokemon is going to be Espartha. So Espartha can virtually just go for maybe 2 attacking moves to take it out of here. Here comes the Drill Run. Espartha's going to live that one pretty easy, unless it's a critical hit, of course, and that's going to be a 2-hit KO. And since I've got that speed boost, that will allow me to take out the Barraskewda this turn, and that, my friends, is the end of the battle. Hope you enjoyed all 4 of the battles with the Generation 9 Pokemon birds. I'll be back with a guide a little bit later on. All right, people, peace out.